Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of KYT. Today we want to talk about the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan news, which we read last week, where we saw that Indore has been declared as the cleanest city of India. And this is the fourth time that they have bagged this award. And even the ranking of Thane has improved. Like last year it was 40, but Thane has now ranked 14 this time. But how can Thane become Indore? Like, how can Thane become the most cleanest city of India? That is the question of today. And for that, we have invited an expert whose name is Dr. Lata Ghanshyamnani. We all know her. She is the leading ophthalmologist of Thane, and she also runs an NGO called R Nisarg. R Nisarg, as we all know, specifically works on waste management, and her waste management module is being currently adopted by many schools of Thane also, as well as many societies. He was also bestowed with Thane Gaurav Award by Thane Municipal Corporation. And in this pandemic, her organization, R Nisarg, has phenomenally worked in improving the hygiene conditions and also to prevent the infection, especially in the most sensitive area of Mumbai, which was Dharavi. So, first of all, we welcome Dr. Lata. Dr. Lata, we welcome you in KYT.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Dr. Lata, since this is your pet topic and since you have also visited Indore, please elaborate your experience. Like, how is Indore different from Thane?
I wouldn't say Indore is different from Thane because if you see the corporation level of the corporation, the population of the city, we are at par. Yes, Indore is a little more wider spread. It has more area. That way, because Mumbai, we are close neighbors of Mumbai, the space constraint is in Mumbai. Otherwise, population in other manners, we are almost as Indore. Last year, I had visited Indore as a tourist. And yes, I did. It did leave a mark in my mind because it was clean. People were very conscious, and they loved their city, which you could see in their behavior. So when you feel that you belong to a place, you behave very good because that's your home. And you could see every Indore citizen, behaving in a very nice manner, respecting the tourist, taking care of their premises. Each hotel, each premises, the roads, super clean. And it really, you had to really look around to see if there is any dirt. So I think in that mark, visually, definitely Indore was clean. And if you want to compare it to Thane, yes, in the past few years, Thane is visibly clean and good. So we are somewhere close to them, but definitely a little more longer way to go.
Okay. What is Indore doing? Like, what special efforts are they taking, like in terms of waste management or other aspects are concerned?
Since waste has been a very important part of Swachh Surakshana, because you have ODF, open defecation, and waste. Both are very important, and this current government has emphasized it a lot. Since 2016, this competition will come in. Every year, the competition adds many verticals, and it starts from door-to-door waste segregation, treatment facilities, how much composting plants are there, biomethanization is there, decentralization is there. Many aspects are considered in the competition. Citizens' initiatives, citizens' participation, everything is given weightage. So it's not about keeping a street clean. It is actually comprising of a lot of components. So what I feel is it has to have a holistic approach. What Indore has been doing is every year they're learning and adding more value to each of these verticals. So what you see different in Indore is, I feel Indore had a goal, or rather it still has a goal. And it works towards its goal by adding every vertical by bit a bit. So they have taken into consideration all the stakeholders. What I mean by stakeholders is the lowest rung Safai Karamchari, the rat pickers, the households, the slums, the commercial, the educated class, then the recyclers. So it's not about just segregation. Once the segregation is done, it needs to go to the right end destination. So, getting those infrastructure in place is also worked around. And lastly, their existing landfill. It took them around 2 years to clear the existing landfill, retrieve whatever was of value, which is called biomining, and the cleaned the entire place, and now you have a beautiful setup there where every type of waste is managed. So it cannot happen in a day. So with goals, every year adding goals and getting all the stakeholders on the same platform. I cannot work in isolation for any civic issue. How much ever the urban local body works, citizens have to cooperate. Politicians have to cooperate. Everybody has to be felt inclusive. You cannot work in isolation. So I feel lot of investment in the initial years by any body has to be in getting all the stakeholders at the same platform. किसी के भी पेट पे लात नहीं पड़ना चाहिए. You have to understand, because these are very, very minute fee. Already the economy is down. You have to respect everybody's livelihood and get them into the mainstream. So 3 years of investment is done. Now it is just about, reaping the benefits. And I think, what, every success is a little addictive. Once you become first, you don't want to leave that position. You will keep coming back again and again. Lastly, what I find difference in Indore is they have spent a lot of, not only invested time, but money also.
Okay.
So they have actually put in a lot of funds which have come through the smart city initiatives. And the ultimate revenue, now they're taking revenue from the citizens also. So they are charging them a user fee. So they're using a lot of revenue modules to actually build this up completely. So I personally feel it's not a day story. They're having a lot of commitments and goals which they have set and they're reaching towards.
Okay, I would like to ask you, like, as far as Thane is concerned, what efforts should Thanekars take? Because as you said rightly, that only the corporation is not responsible, even the citizens are equally responsible. So what citizens and corporation has to do?
To make it very short, when I started 7 years back, I always used to blame the corporation. I always used to feel they are not the ones who are doing. Trust me, they are doing enough. It's just that we are shrugging our responsibility. So now my focus is totally towards the citizens. I feel you have to be equally involved. And whenever I'm talking particularly for Thane, when Thane Municipal Corporation removes any circular related to waste segregation, immediately the citizens rush to the authorities and they start crying, no, it cannot be done, we cannot do this. So, it sets back. I think you have to equally participate. The citizens have to come forward and take the responsibility of behaving and implementing the rules and helping the corporation implement the rules, which doesn't happen under various pretexts. Sometimes they say it started, monsoon has started. Sometimes now they will say COVID has started. So they will have n numbers of excuses not to start segregation. So I think there is where Thane is, not really catching up. And somewhere I always request the corporation also that you have to start patting the backs of those societies by some incentives. Try to show them that these people are doing the good work. So carrot and stick approach is the only way we can kind of get these things rolling.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us something about R-Nisarg? Like, how is R-Nisarg operating and how has been the response so far and the results?
It has been a long journey and it's going to be a longer journey. I know that for sure. Thanekars have responded very positively to our organization. I'm very happy to say that somewhere we have earned their faith and trust in our organizations. Now I see many citizens coming forward in terms of getting associated with us for volunteering, for donating, and one call and they really, they look up to us, they come to us for solutions. And I feel we have earned a lot of respect and trust by the community of Thane. And we want to live up to that. And hence, that has always been the reason that we look forward to each day helping Thane become much more better than what we are right now. Yes, we have achieved a good position, but we have a long way to go, for which I would like to congratulate the TMC, all their authorities. And in the COVID times, I've seen really these people have worked hard. So now is the time that we Thanekars have to take the onus, unlock responsibility, and help the corporation in building better.
Okay. I'm sure you must you may be believing in catching them young, and your focus may be on the next generation Thanekars. So what is the small piece of advice which you would like to give them, which they can easily implement and execute?
Correct. So, Nikhil, very rightly you said we have always been concentrating on the younger generation also. So, right now we are doing a lot of online programs, lot of online workshops for Thane citizens and elsewhere, uh, teaching them about composting, household composting, about knowing plastic, how to segregate waste, and also about COVID waste. Because
Okay.
many patients are now right now home quarantined or in isolation, where they may be positive, they may not be positive, but whatever they're using and throwing could be contaminated. So how responsibly they should be behaving so that they don't spread it in their societies. We are conducting a lot of workshops around it. Now, just a few takeaway home message, which if I want to say, please start segregating in 3 compartments. Reduce your wet waste. Don't throw cooked food. So start segregating your wet waste. Second, use reduce your dry waste. A lot of online shopping is happening now because people are not stepping out, so they are buying from online platforms, and these are coming with a lot of packaging. So try to see wherever you can avoid it. Start separating and keeping those cartons and plastics separately because it can go for recycling. Look for if you're getting home takeaways, take your dabbas, take your bags, take your cloth bags. Try to see now you have enough of time. I think one thing which Mumbai has learned that it has to go slow, especially with this pandemic. You cannot rush.
Correct.
People have to have patience, and now that patience will come to your benefit if you start planning your shopping. So if you're going for shopping in a planned manner, carry things, carry dabbas, carry bags, carry things which are usable, so you can get those back home. They will be safe also, they will not be contaminated also, and they will reduce the waste. Third category of waste which you need to start segregating at home is your biomedical waste. So all that which if you're using disposable masks, then you need to separate it. Gloves, I would recommend as a doctor, please don't use disposable masks or gloves. Gloves you really don't need to wear. If you sanitize well your hands, you really don't need to wear gloves. But in pertaining to mask, unless you are positive, you are running from any other viral infection, and you are coming in contact with a positive patient, only then you use N95 or 3-ply surgical mask. Otherwise, a simple cloth mask is enough.
Okay.
If you feel insecure when you're stepping out because of you are fearful, then wear a face shield with a mask.
Okay.
So if you wear a cloth mask and a face shield, I think you can step in anywhere where you fear that the social distancing is not happening.
Right.
The face shield also is reusable. So, you're not creating waste. And please encourage each family member to have his own set of mask and face shield,
Okay.
which are reusable. So, you can always reuse these. But still, if you land up, disposing it, then please separately keep it for 3 days. Cut it. Because if you just throw it in the bin, some other rack picker or underprivileged may just use it. So you don't want somebody to use something which you have thrown, especially a mask, a glove, or a face shield. So mutilate it, cut it, destroy it, and after 3 days, because after 3 days we are sure that there's no virus on it, and then you throw it. So these are certain things I think we should pay attention to, and segregation has to become the norm.
No.
Reduction of the waste has to become the norm. You cannot generate piles of waste and expect the local body to solve it. And
Okay.
sadly, during COVID times, the entire recyclers sector, which is unorganized, your kabadi wala, rack pickers, has collapsed. So, there is no recycling happening to that extent which was happening earlier. So please reduce your waste currently. Hold on to your clean waste. Wait till the recyclers come into the market, and then you dispose it safely.
Okay. Lastly, we are very curious to know, like, what exactly did you do in Dharavi? How was your experience in Dharavi overall?
Oh, Dharavi was those times it was very difficult because it was totally locked down. Sending anything from Thane to Dharavi was also a challenge. Everything was done on phone, and we worked very closely with G Ward Assistant Commissioner Kiran Divgaonkar. His people used to come from Dharavi to collect all the immune boosters, the gloves, masks, the sanitizers which we gave them. And we used to follow up with the Safai Karamcharis. We used to talk to them on phone and communicate with them, because going from here, you will not believe, Nikhil, no vehicle person was ready to go to Dharavi to deliver things. It was so sad. So MCGM had to send their vehicles to Thane to pick up all the necessity raw materials. So the experience has been very fabulous, in the sense everybody was upbeat. I would want to congratulate every worker of the MCGM, officers to the Safai Karamchari at Dharavi. They put their 24/7 there. And then that is how you could see the results. And they were always on their toes from morning 4 o'clock. They used to report to duty till evenings. And during lockdown, when you didn't have even food to eat, it is so difficult that they leave their homes, and if they can't eat anything in between because of the hotels being closed. So challenging times, but they really stood up. And my experience with Dharavi has really been overwhelming, because now I get a lot of people connecting me. Even today evening, we are getting a call from Delhi. They want to know what we did in Dharavi. So we have made a step-by-step actually interventions. 3 interventions we did. First, we gave them the support of gloves, masks, and hand sanitizers and equipments. Second, we spoke to them. We counseled them, because by then they were tired. We told them that we are standing with you. There were helplines created. Counseling was done. And immune boosters were given. Health checkups was done. And lastly, we have supplied to each of the chowkis of the Safai Karamcharis a pulse oxy. So every day morning, they get themselves screened to see if they are fit and fine to resume. So these are certain things which make them feel secure. And I think that is maximum a human can do for a other person, that you show that you care for them, because ultimately they're working for you. So it has been a good experience, and I'm really overwhelmed with the response that we have got for our work there, which we never knew that time, that it will have so much of value added.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Lata, for sharing all those insights about Dharavi and also about Indore. And Thanikas, I'm sure you must have heard all those tips. I think they are all very simple and easy tips which can be easily followed and implemented. Only thing is willingness has to be there. And I think it is rightly said, together we can and together we will. We just don't have to bank on the municipal corporation to change happen, but we have to change ourselves, and then the change will automatically happen. And I'm sure if we jointly take efforts, then the next year's headline would be something different, which would be in our positive side. Thank you so much, Dr. Lata, once again for sharing us all those inputs. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikhil. Thanks for having me. Thank you.